This is World Awakenings, the fast track to enlightenment with your host, Karl Gruber. World Awakenings is a podcast dedicated to opening your mind, your heart, and your eyes to the fact that the world's population is now, more than ever, awakening to all things spiritual, metaphysical, and enlightening, and just how they play an all-important role in our daily life. So join Karl on this enlightening experience as he interviews metaphysical and spiritual experts to discuss, debate, and delve deeply into the hows and whys of this worldwide awakening.
You've seen and read my 3 Pillars ebook, and now I'm proud to announce my new book, True Spirituality and the Law of Attraction, a beautiful symbiotic relationship, and it's now out and ready for reading. This new book of mine is a full-length version of the teachings of the 3 Pillars, and in it I show you how to walk in the integrity of eternal universal laws, in step with the Law of Attraction to consistently create the life you desire. Now, if you've ever wondered just why you can't consistently manifest all the good, loving, abundant, healthy, and happy things you desire, my new book, True Spirituality and the Law of Attraction, will reveal the key in how to do just that. Plus, help you build a rock-solid personal foundation that will stand strong for the ages. Get your copy today. My new book, True Spirituality and the Law of Attraction, a beautiful symbiotic relationship by Karl Gruber. Available now in ebook and paperback on Amazon.com.
The Love Tuner is a revolutionary breathing and meditation device that combines a simple yet profound breathing exercise with the 528 Hz frequency, bringing you into a state of instant relaxation. The Love Tuner is a stylish necklace that comes beautifully packaged in an elegant premium gift box. Pull the Love Tuner out of the cap and place the rounded side with the engraved Love Tuner logo between your lips. Blow into the Love Tuner gently, like on a flute, to create a smooth, long note with a constant volume. You can make the note last as long as you like. After exhaling, inhale through your nose, allowing air to flow into the center of your body. Just leave the Love Tuner between your lips as you inhale, and then exhale again with the next note. Repeat as long as it feels good. We recommend at least 6 breathing cycles. After tuning, enjoy the silence and your fully tuned state of being. Caution: love tuning may cause miracles.
Oh wow, it's so cool that you are joining us for yet another episode of this show, World Awakenings, a fast track to enlightenment. Hi, I'm your host, Karl Gruber. Now, since I started this show in June of 2018, we have been totally blessed to meet and talk with some of the world's top experts, teachers, and masters in the world of spirituality, metaphysics, and enlightenment, and today's show is no exception. So before we meet our guests, let me remind you that you can now not only watch this show on YouTube and listen to it on every conceivable online audio-only outlet, but now you can also watch this show on the brand new TV network, New Reality TV. All you have to do is click the link below in the show notes to watch it today. All right, off to meet our guest. And today, here in episode 229, we are blessed to meet Rachel Corpus. Rachel is perhaps our most unique guest ever, as she is an angel. Yes, actually an actual Seraphim Angel in a human body who came into physical form to learn and teach how to live a fulfilled life in deep connection with Source. Now, she was born with the ability to experience things that others could not easily see or feel. Early in her life, Rachel experienced her first of many near-death experiences, and she remembers going to the other side and being shown what her life could be like if she decided to return as a healer and a teacher. And thank God she did. As a professional channel, Rachel plays fluidly in the quantum realm and the multiverse of parallel realities. That is incredible. And she works in collaboration with angels, ascended masters, people on the other side, and high-vibrational extraterrestrials. Plus, Rachel has her own podcast, Angel Talk, and once in a while she actually talks to us humans on podcasts. So with that, welcome, Rachel.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh my gosh, I'm just blown away. I've had many channels on the show who do bring through beings of light, and I don't know, I think this might be my first angel on the show, so I appreciate it.
Well, maybe. Sometimes we're here undercover. One never knows.
That's all right. I'm open to anything. So
yeah.
I first heard Dr. Wayne Dyer say that we are actually a spiritual being having a human experience, but I guess that you are a prime example of that statement, and you are an angel having a human experience. Let's start from the beginning with your story of having a near-death experience when you were 4. What happened?
Well, when I was 4, my family took a trip out of town to go see a movie. And when we were coming back, we were hit by a drunk driver. And my family is fine at this point. We all had our various injuries. And for me, I was taken out of my little body. I was already a strange kid, as kids are supposed to be strange. I was doing my job, being weird and talking to spirit and knowing what animals were saying. And I was already talking to angels, and I was raised Catholic. That's the family that I chose. So I had an idea of what I thought angels looked like anyway, because I was going to Mass on Sundays and I had a family Bible at home. So angels to me at that time had big wings and halos. That's how they appeared to me. So when we were hit by this drunk driver, I was taken out of my little body, and there were angels that I was used to seeing around me. And these were my guardian angels. And they said, "Hey, we're going to go on a field trip." And we left, and I heard my familiar 4-year-old voice and this old lady voice, which is this voice you're hearing right now. And I said, "Who is that?" And they said, "Oh, that's you. That's your grown-up voice." Now I know it's my consciousness. I did not like that voice, by the way, at all. And they said, "Well, we're going to take you to your home." Well, that confused the heck out of me as a 4-year-old, because my home is where I kept my stuff, where my dog was, right? But they said, "No, actually, you are one of us. You are an angel." They took me to the Seraphim realm, and they walked me around the whole realm where I work, where my friends are. And now you have to understand that I have these 2 awarenesses now. I'm my 4-year-old self who's thinking, well, what do we do around here? Where are the trees to climb? Where are the puddles to jump in? Can we still play here? And also my adult consciousness, which was seeing things for the first time, but also having that beautiful sense of remembering. Oh, right, that is my locker. Oh, that is my best friend. Oh, this feels wonderful. And they were walking me around and helping me remember. And then at some point they said, "Well, this is your mission as an angel." And they laid that out for me. And they said, "You can complete it here, this home, or you can go back to Earth." They showed me some things that would be happening on Earth in my personal life and also in the world in general. And I actually didn't make a choice. My 4-year-old self came back in, and I remembered how sad my mom would be if I didn't come back. And then I was whooshed back into my little body.
Mm. Wow, boy, what an awakening back to your true reality. Now, my understanding is that you had 4 NDEs?
Yes, I've had 4 near-death experiences, and I've had some out-of-body experiences too, which are part of my meditative journey, astral projection. But yes, I've had 4 near-death experiences: heart attack, 1 alcohol addiction related. Yes, I've been back several times.
Wow, angels can be addicted to alcohol?
Many are, yes, because um, hearing that one is an angel incarnate, I think the first hearing of that might sound like a movie, like it's delightful. Oh, isn't this easy? Isn't it fun? And yes, it is. It's a lovely life once one comes to terms with it. Um, Leading up to that, however, it's it's difficult. I have found. I'll just speak for myself. I have found it difficult to be okay in my human body and to come to terms with what Earth is like, because all of us, let me say this to begin, I've never met a human in my life,
Hmm.
ever. Every beautiful being here is from someplace amazing, starseed, angelic. And so all of us probably share the feeling of trying to make ourselves match this Earth realm. And this Earth realm, this is not a bad place. It is the dimension where we come to learn the hard stuff, the lower vibrational frequency stuff like jealousy, hunger, loss. And so, as an angel, I found it very hard to be my high vibe self, full of love, and know that that's who I am at my core, but still feel everything that was part of this earth. How was this earth at war? How were my friends at school hungry? How could I feel all of this and yet maintain a life here? And so, those who are big feelers, we often try to self medicate
Mhm.
with working too much, drinking, opioids, several addictions. And for a while, that was my story too. It's not anymore, thankfully, but it was for a while. And I share that openly because I don't want to keep any of my story quiet. There's no reason to. And I want people to know that part of our journey into awakening is unfolding all of those little parts of our origami story and looking into all those folds and saying, I own that. I love that. There's light in that shadow. That is good because that's why we're here.
I really like that analogy, an origami unfolding of our life. And yes, you definitely are an angel experiencing life to the max because yeah, we I agree with you too. I don't think there's we're all from somewhere else, a being connected to source, and here we are experiencing this contrast, in a
Yeah.
world of form,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Amazing. Well, one thing too. I mean, so you're a 4-year-old who's talking to angels and communicating with animals. What was your family's reaction when they realized that you could do these things?
Interesting question because it was so normal to me. I didn't walk around saying, hey, I know what that dog is thinking. It was so normal. It just was something I did. So when I think back to that, it was just, it was like a Tuesday to me. I realized looking back that there was never a time I said to my family, hey, I can do this. Because why would you? Why would you say, I witnessed the color purple. I love to jump. It was that normal to me that there was never a time as a child that I said, "Hey, by the way, I can see dead people," because I thought everybody could. It was just normal. It wasn't until I was older, I would say first grade, second grade, that I realized other kids weren't having this experience, and then I was presented with the obstacle of how do I handle this? Now I know I'm different. And I actually decided to keep it quiet still because I didn't want to be different. And when I did tell people that I was seeing something, it wasn't, I lived in a small town. Um, and it was made known to me that I should just be like everyone else. Now, that might have been not true, but that was my perception at that time. And so, to create an example, at church, when I would know the real story of what happened with Jesus, the man, and I would speak up about that, I was told, well, you don't really know. That's blasphemy. You just be quiet. Who are you to question? And the people who were saying that to me, it was their heart that they were guiding me. and they were teaching me respect for the good stories in the Bible. But I really did know. And, when I would know that someone's grandmother who had passed was with them, and I would say, "Oh, I can see your grandma and she's smiling." If they were grieving, I knew right away early on, I shouldn't be saying that. They're not ready. They don't know what I know. I learned quick. It's time to fold it in. And just baseline, I wanted to be like everybody else. I wanted to watch Rainbow Bright, eat fish sticks. I just wanted to be a kid. So my life has been very much navigating, who do I want to be? How do I want to do this? And then at some point, I've said to God, source really is my definition to God after, going through seminary and going through the religious channels and trying to make that fit didn't really work for me. I said to source, okay, if we're going to do this, let's do it. Prove it to me. I'm not going to deny it anymore. Come hell or high water, spaghetti at the wall, let's just do it. But you got to prove it to me. And it is like the room I was in went clink and shifted. And my part in that was I started to tell people I'm psychic. And I did not attach myself to their response anymore. No matter who they were, I just said, this is who I am. And I let source take care of that, take care of everything else. And then when I was ready, I started to tell people, oh, and I am an angel incarnate. Same deal. I didn't attach myself to their response. And I just let everything else fall away. And when I started to live authentically into my mission, everything has been okay. Of course, there are people that, like in this video, they will comment, oh, that's bull. I don't believe that. But it's not about me. It's about creating a safe container for people to have discourse. This is about helping people create their own conversation within themselves and with other people about what could be possible. It's not about me personally. It's not taking me back to my childhood when someone told me, you're not real, you're fake. It's not that. I'm not part of it anymore. Part of my mission here is creating a safe space for people to wonder and to grow. And as soon as I stopped attaching myself personally to what people will think, I became an instrument, a messenger. And that's who I am.
Yeah, that's beautiful. The human evolution of Rachel the Angel. I love it. That's beautiful. Going back to, I mentioned and I read this in your bio that you're a Seraphim Angel. What exactly is a Seraphim Angel, and how do you know you're a Seraphim?
Well, a Seraphim Angel is the angel that is the watcher. It's the wheel of eyes. We're not the pretty kind. We're not the wings in the halo. We are the wheel of eyes, and we watch and we upload. So if you were to see me in human form at a party, I'd be quiet. I observe the room. I'm an introvert. I can be extroverted when needed, but I watch. We watch. And what we do with that information is when we dream or when we meditate, we upload what we've observed back to source. So as we observe, source gets to observe. And our personal challenge is to observe without judgment. So we'll notice, but we don't judge. And I know I'm a seraphim because when they took me to the other side in all of my visits, whether that's near death or out of body, that's where I first go. That's where I go to change my shoes and put on my house slippers. That's where my stuff is kept. That's where my angelic family is. And the seraphim is also where the unborn babies are. That's where we go before we incarnate. So wherever you want to incarnate, whether it's another planet, another galaxy, you spend a little time in the seraphim realm because that's where you create your blueprint or your pre-life choices. It's where you meet with your personal counsel and you work all of that out. That's the seraphim realm. And it sounds serious, but it's so playful. We have so much fun there.
I read that Seraphim Angels have 6 wings, and they are the direct attendants
Yeah.
to God.
Yes.
Wow,
Yes.
interesting.
Sounds important, but again, very playful.
Well,
God is playful.
if I see a couple wings unfolding behind you, I'll know what to expect.
Sometimes you'll see the light change.
Yeah.
My wings are vibrational when I'm in human form, but you will see the light change as some of them show up. So I'm a wheel of eyes, and then the wings will show up. Each wing has a different energy, or, in the human body, there's the chakra system. In angels, the wings have a different energy source, almost like a chakra.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
you're a channel. How did it come about that you became a channel for our extraterrestrial galactic friends? How did you realize that they can speak through you and to you?
I know that because it's always happened. They have always been able to be in my mind in a very gentle way. So I have my own voice. And also, I'm able to hear other beings who will come right in and say, "Hello, Rachel, may I speak to you?" I am. They'll introduce themselves. So I've never thought that I'm schizophrenic. It's never been additional voices that feel like they are my alternate personality. It's always been, "Hello, Rachel, I'm St. Peter. Hello, Rachel, I am St. Germain. I am of the Galactic Council. Is this a good time for me to talk with you?" And that sound of their voice is clairaudient, and it's not in the room, it's not in my mind, it's in a layer that feels like it's by my scalp. And it's just been with me since I was born. I've never been without it. Now I can turn it down if I want. If I want to just go to a choir concert that my kids are in or something, I will turn it down easily. And the reason, let me ask my guides, because I have 2 guardian angels of my own when I'm incarnate. Let me ask them why I have that. I have that ability because as a seraphim angel, think of me as a liaison or a mediator for anyone who, let's say, if you wanted to incarnate on a certain planet, it would be my job to bring in counselors from that planet. So I have any language, any ability to break bread with them, so I can serve you, so I can help you. So when I'm in body, I still have those connections. And it's not, "Oh, who do I know?" It's not name dropping. No, it's friendship. So of course, if I'm with a client, or I'm just meditating, or I'm talking to a tree, or whatever I'm doing, if there's a being that comes in that can help, I know them.
Is it possible for us to speak to one of your
Yes.
galactic friends or one of the angels? I would love to chat with them if possible.
Yes. Yes, of course, they would love that. Should we ask for anyone in particular, or should we see who comes through?
Let's see who comes through.
Okay. I have someone coming through who is Annunaki, and his name is, he says his name is Seban, and I don't know how to spell that. It's all in symbols of light language, and he is saying that he is a creator of nations and would like to say that his message today is about reestablishing the reputation of the Anunnaki, that the Anunnaki are good and benevolent and are here to reframe what people know about the Anunnaki versus what they feel, and that people are feeling that they are good and kind as if they are fathers and mothers of the human race versus rulers of the human race. And so he is saying that he is directly related to Source. He is created by Source, but he does not usurp Source. He is not greater than Source, and is wanting me to say to the listeners that all things are created by Source, and that all councils. He's part of an Anunnaki council. All councils, he says, I serve with Source, and I'm proud to serve with Source, but I am not greater than Source. And I would like the listeners to know how grateful I am to speak with them through Rachel, the channel. I'm so grateful. And also because she doesn't edit. She just says what I want to say. And I'd like them to know that as they grow in what they know, they are right. They are right. And they can say to their thinking mind, the ego, when the ego gets in the way and says, oh, I'm going too fast. No, you're not. You know what you know. Breathe into it. And just know that you always can go right to Source. That is what I do. When I feel that my brothers and sisters in the Anunnaki race, when they need justification for what they believe, or they have questions and they do not know, and they ask me as their guide, I say, go right to Source. And you too, my friends, go right to Source. You don't always need a book or a stone or a temple. Go right within. How do you go to Source? You go within. Close your eyes, hum, go within. You have Source within. And then he went quiet. And there's a little boy coming up. The little boy is coming from the Seraphim realm. He's getting ready to incarnate. And he says, I'm of the population that is coming to help with the awakening. And I'm coming, I want people to know there's no fall of civilization coming. It is the opposite. It's an uprising. It's messy, but we don't mind a mess. This is structured chaos. And my friends and I are bringing the structure. And I'd like to say from my friends that we are coming in as infants, but we're coming in old. We're coming in at least with the intelligence of sixth graders or greater. So be ready for us. Don't talk us out of what we know. And then he's holding hands with the Anunnaki guide because they are receiving downloads from the different galaxies as part of their incarnation preparation. Man, Rachel speaking. I wish I was there for that. And the little boy says, he's excited about this because they will no longer come in with learning disabilities, but they will need to be relabeled. The current labels, ADHD, etc., they served their purpose, but now something will be needed to be redesigned that doesn't seem like a deficit. And these children will actually grow up to help with that new labeling. And then it kind of went quiet. I think they're taking a break.
That makes sense because we've had many guests point out there's a whole new generation of youngsters being born, and this young boy is part of that. And many have said that autistic children are actually of that realm in that they're perceiving things that no children have ever done before, and it's hard for people to understand them at first and for themselves to understand what's going on too.
Yes, this little boy is talking about something he's calling upsight vision. Upsight vision. And honey, can I have it? Will you give it to me? Upsight vision. He's able to see data in holographs, just like he can see. Oh, okay. Just like he can see his hands in front of him, he can also see. It looks like a holograph, but he's able to see it quite easily. And then as these children breastfeed, as they hug their fathers and their caregivers, they're uploading this ability into people who are already here. They're literal energy healers just by being them.
Would I be able to ask perhaps the Anunnaki? I am a student of the Modern Spiritual Guide, A Course in Miracles, and A Course in Miracles makes clear from page 1, sentence 1, that we are the Son of God, a divine being who has fallen asleep in the dream of separation. and that this really is a dream, literally a nightmare of chaos and contrast, and that we are on our human journey is actually a long, slow, progressive awakening back to source. And what is his thoughts on this?
It is true. You are dreaming right now. You are dreaming. We are dreaming. And there's another speaker coming in with him, and this is Archangel Gabriel. Thank you. You have some guidance that as you awaken, let it be known that there is an alternate grid. And the alternate grid is something that you chose to play. It's an alternate playground. And the alternate playground is something that feels like reality, but it's not. And when you feel trapped in it, you are consenting to it. And what you might consent to is physical pain, fear, limitations. And these things are not wrong. They are just part of this dimension. And we are waking up out of them, because what we are waking up into is that we are not separate from source. We are not separate from each other. We are not separate from love. And therefore, we're not meant to have pain. We're not meant to have struggle. And once we remember rather, that we can exist in pure light, we will no longer need the dark. We can actually have the dark exist around us as an art form instead of an experience. They want me to repeat, we can have the dark around us as a quality, as a color, instead of an experience that we need to walk through and live in. That's what we're waking up to. Right now, we need it as a dream so we can walk around in it and play in it like a playground where we are pretending to stab each other, steal from each other. And we are all high-level beings here doing that, which is why it's a playground. We're just playing. We're not really hurting each other. But it's as real as it can get until we don't need it any longer. Then it becomes logged as an art form where we'll go back and say, oh, look what we did there. Let's paint that picture. But you are correct, where we are in a dream right now. And when we actually meditate and go to sleep, we go into a higher level dream. It's actually our reality. We go back into the fold of God. When we go back into the fold of God, we are no longer separate. So the Course in Miracles, that channeled guidebook, it actually gives you breadcrumbs to wake up. And it's not laid out. It can be rather cryptic, Gabriel says, but it's designed that way because too much at once, your head will explode. Breadcrumbs.
Yes.
And a way to, Gabriel loves an easy button, however, a way to help yourself get out of the false grid would be to say, I do not consent. I create my own. So when you feel trapped by fear or a limit, and you know that you are, and you don't want that anymore, you can say, I don't consent. I don't consent to that leg pain. Oh, hips, I don't consent to that. I'm creating health. I don't consent. And you're simply talking to the false dream. You're not creating to the cabal. You're not talking to the cabal or reptilians or anything like that. You're just talking to the energetic matrix that is the dream that you are waking up from. I don't consent. I'm choosing love. I'm choosing my own creation, my own life.
Well, that's beautiful. Just quickly, my understanding, so we have that, whether you're Annunaki or Pleiadian or Syrian or one of the reptilians, etc., there's, I think, praying mantis people. Aren't they So even though they're at a higher level of a higher dimension, higher level of consciousness, aren't they still asleep at a certain point of being asleep in a dream until aren't we supposed to all wake up at once, eventually back home with Source?
It might not be, yes, they are still asleep. As long as they believe that they are other, as long as if any being believes that they are separate from Source, that they have been separated from love in any way, then they are asleep. Now, this won't happen all at once because that is a religious idea, that there will be some sort of event where everyone wakes up. When in fact, it happens gradually because there is such love from Source that beings are given their own timeline, that it happens gently when they are ready, and no one will be left behind.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone will awaken into their real timeline, into their real awakening when it's the perfect time for them. And yes, at some point, every being will be there. Every being will be reunited. The thing that's weird about this is there are some forces at play that have gotten in the way before by hitting a reset button. That will not happen this time. There are benevolent high beings that have already gone back to Source who will get in the way of any reset that would be hit before. That happened before, where we were about to awaken and then a reset button was hit by some nefarious beings, and it will not happen this time. That's the big difference. That's why we have a lot of angelic beings walking the earth. That's why we have a lot of extraterrestrials walking the earth. That's why we have a lot of kids who are coming in different, because we have this whole eruption of high-level beings here. We have the awakening happening. So we get to talk about all this stuff.
These nefarious beings who've hit the reset button, can we equate them to the ego within the dream of being asleep?
You could. You could look at them symbolically like the ego in every one of us that gives us pushback. I'm not ready. I'm scared. This is new territory. So I'm going to sabotage myself and hit that reset button back at zero. Absolutely, you could. You could also look at it a different way and say there's actually a population of beings who do not want high-level beings, who do not want loving beings to elevate themselves, and so they get in the way. That's up to people, what they believe. Is it in us? Is it our own ego that gets in the way? Or is it actually a population of, say, reptilians who get in the way and hit that reset button? People need to go within themselves and see. But either way, the truth in that is it's all made by Source.
Interesting. Yeah. And most people would say that this nefarious group who hit the reset button are the ones who are currently in control of the power and the money, in at least on Earth right now.
Yes, you are correct. But really, the people in power are the ones who remember that they are made of love, and the ones who are waking up. It really just takes one person to wake up and own their light, for those who are trying to take power by fear to be conquered. It just takes one sovereign being, and that's what's happening right now. They will not be allowed to hit the reset button if there is even one sovereign being who says, no, I am not separate from God. There's one being that really goes back with God and is still in the body. One person can get to that point and say, I am not separate from God, who can love their ego and be kind to themselves and others, still be authentic, get to that point, then the nefarious, let's play, the nefarious reptilians, they'll be like hamsters on a wheel, but they will not be able to do their work. And perhaps we could even set a goal that they will go to the light. One could hope.
Yeah. Well, I like that. I like that very much. Yeah, one being of light, I'd say Jesus and Buddha are good examples of that.
Yeah. Yes, because they're both real people that were here. They struggled. They had digestive systems. They got mad. Jesus cursed the fig tree, and then they also knew how to do miracles. That is your average person. Every being can do miracles. Every person gets mad. Every person digests things. Every person sleeps. They're here to teach us we can do that.
Line 1, page 1 of A Course in Miracles says there's no order or difficulty in miracles, and that's what they knew.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, we were talking to Rachel Corpus. Well, we're actually talking to her friends coming through her, some beings of light and some of our extraterrestrial friends. This is just absolutely beautiful. And one last thing, and then we'll bring Rachel completely back here. Can you address the multiverse? I mean, this is parallel dimensions and everything, and different universes?
Yeah. Okay. So let's think about it this way. If you were constructed like a TV set and every channel was you, but we're just watching this one channel. The other channels, let's talk about the parallel, the multiverse. The other channels look just like you as well, but there's just a subtle change. Maybe in one channel, you grew your hair out long. Maybe in another channel, you have 20 children. There's, in this version of you, your core version, something significant that you chose in this lifetime, the opposite choice sprouted another timeline, another channel. And you don't interact with that version of you because it's on a different vibrational frequency. We're on channel 1. Those channels are channel 2, 3, 4, different vibrations. But they're important because you have awakened so much and you desire to grow so much that you have decided, hey, I'm going to pack in at least 10 lifetimes into one at the same time. Those are your parallels. And you do visit them when you meditate or when you sleep. And we know we do because sometimes we wake up and we're like, gosh, that didn't feel like a dream. That was really real. But why did my house have so many hallways? That was weird. Why was I at a party and I feel like I knew everybody, but I didn't recognize any of them? Those are parallels. You can feel the texture of the fabric on the couch. You can smell the food cooking. They are very tactile. And then in addition to parallels, we have our past lifetimes or other lifetimes, and those are the versions of us where we are in a different body costume. We're in the Wild West. We're in Egypt. Those are also different channels as well, and they're on different vibrational frequencies. We used to call them past lifetimes as if they were in the past, but they're still playing right now as we speak. Why? Because we're always still learning what we learned in those air quote past lifetimes. They're still playing right now, like the movie channel. So that is the multiverse.
I don't know if you would mind if I would ask this, but is it possible, do one of your friends or all of them do they have any particular message for me?
Yes. I think it would be great if we went into one of your other lifetimes.
Oh boy, let's find out.
Yeah, if you're open to it.
Of course.
All right. There is an interesting, we'll call this an other lifetime or a past lifetime. There is one where the first thing that I see is that your head is covered. And I'm going with you and I'm trying to see, and I'm actually facing you. And you are a photographer. And it's the time where photography is so new that the subject has to sit very still for a long time. Maybe it's Victorian times. And the woman who's sitting there, she's very nervous because she only had one hat to wear, and the hat is just going out of style. And she's saying, this is a Gregorian hat, and I hate it. She's mad at me. And I've stepped into the body of her mother. And I hear myself saying, just sit still. Your mouth is going to look funny. And I'm not in the picture, but I feel like I'm trying to be still so she'll be still. And you're the photographer and you're doing something different with the photography. I can smell the chemical. And you take a picture of her and you're saying to her, don't worry, I'm not going to charge you because I'm going to take this to the World's Fair. And the mother says, well, that's not proper. And you're saying, I'm not going to do anything with this picture that you wouldn't be proud of, but this is going to change history. So what they want you to do is they want you to look for some sort of photo that has a Gregorian bonnet, a bonnet that starts with a G, a Gregorian bonnet. And the woman in the picture looks very perfect. She's sat still for a long time, and she couldn't be more than 16 or 17. She has dark hair, and you did something special with this picture. You took it to the World's Fair or something. And where this comes in for you is that you created this overarching theme in your lifetimes where you took an idea and you built something big from it. Other people had this idea, but you said, I will take it to the next step and I will be brave. And you had a father in that lifetime that was confusing fear and love. And he said, well, what's your plan B? What if it doesn't work? You can come back and work here in, like, it was the dairy or the butcher shop or something. And you said, thanks, but I won't need that. Thank you. I won't be back. I'll be back for holidays, but I'm not going to be back to work here. And it offended him. You said, I don't mean to offend you, but this is going to work. I don't think like you. This is going to work. And you left and you didn't come back because you were successful. And you took pictures of not people after that. It was like landscapes or something. You did something artistic where people didn't have to be still, but it was more of a challenge. It's like you took pictures of wildlife. And I would say that would be pretty hard if they weren't still, but I don't know the rest of that story. But the point is, you created this abandonment, this freedom. It's holy abandonment, where you loved your family, but they didn't own you anymore. And you brought that into how you were a parent and a husband, where you said to your wife, I don't own you. You do what you want to do. And to your own children, you said, I'm going to raise you to be free. And you did. And you always have.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That is amazing. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to dig in and do a little research on this. Wow.
Yeah, she's sitting like this, hands folded, a weird looking bonnet that kind of swallows her face. That's all I can see. And then I'm her mother over here. I don't think I really was, but just in that vision.
Yeah.
Stay still. Don't move.
Oh my gosh, thank you for that, Rachel. That was amazing. Rachel Corpus. One other thing too, I understand that you can communicate with animals. How did you find out that you can do this? And if you can you talk to my cat Maya Diva right now? I've got some questions.
It's probably my favorite thing that I do because I love animals so much. Animals and trees. Oh my gosh, because animals and trees are right from the angelic realm. They are here to help us remember pure love, to remember God's love.
Yeah.
I think it's just something I've always been able to do. So most certainly. And so that's your kitty.
Yeah, let me put up a picture over here. I think I can do this. Let's see. Share. Let's see. Can you see her? That's Maya Diva.
Maya Diva. Is she very vocal?
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, that was one of my questions. At night, when I'm trying to sleep at least 2, 3, 4 days a week, every 20 minutes she'll go, meow. But she's very protective of me. I've had a medium tell me she was my familiar, and she's got to lay right there, but she keeps me awake till like 3 in the morning.
Yeah. She's your pie wacket. She says, I go back so far that I call myself a piewacket. So that's an old name for a familiar, like going back to Wiccan times. And she knows that word, piewacket. She's been a cat most of the time, but there's been a couple of times where she's been a bird, and she's really liked that because she's been up in high places.
Oh.
And sometimes when she gets bored, that's why she talks so much, because she's getting tired of being low and she's trying to figure out how to get up in the rafters. And there's nothing you can do about that. She also sees spirit at night, she says.
I believe that.
And when she's talking to them, I'm asking her if she feels like she has to protect you. And she says, no, they're people in your family. One of them looks like he could be your dad. He's got your same face. And he's not unfriendly to her, but I don't know if he's a cat person. He'll just kind of go up and he almost pets her like a dog. And she doesn't care for that. But they are working that out. But she's greeting them. She's saying, hi, can you help me get up there? Can you help me get on top of the cupboards? And Spirit's like, I can't. No, I can't. And I'm just, can you see me? They have these funny conversations. She is telling me something about her stomach, though. She's got a sour stomach sometimes. Ugh.
I don't know about her getting into the rafters because she's 16 pounds. I don't think she can get up.
She wants to get up high, but it's just not possible for her. And her angels are saying, don't bother. Wouldn't be safe for her. She can't do it. But it is what she wants. Just don't worry about it. But there's something with her tummy. Does she throw up sometimes? Like, a lot?
Usual cats, not a lot, but hairballs and eating too fast.
Fluid?
Sometimes a little bit, yeah.
Well, because it tastes like bile.
Yeah, she's pretty healthy, but I just recently had to take her to a vet for an issue, so that
might be just working that out. I don't know, but she says that her stomach hurts, and it's in her belly to the right. So it's in her belly to the right. So I'm going, here's her little collar. I'm going down about 4 inches to the right. And it's just kind of, I just knocked my earring off. It's kind of achy in there. Achy and icky is what her angel said. Achy and icky. And not major. They said not major. But when sorry, this is kind of gross, everybody, but when she throws up and it's kind of liquidy, that's when she's got a stomach ache. If it's just food and everything, don't worry about it. But watch if she gets too, she says, she's singing this to me. She says, when it tastes bad, I feel bad. When it tastes bad, oh, I feel bad. She's like singing.
And she's right here. Oh my gosh, I could see the listeners and viewers now go, oh great, we're talking about Karl's cat. So, but anyway.
Barf. Oh, this took a turn.
All right, well, thank you for that, Rachel. I really appreciate that, and Maya does too. It helps me a little bit. We've only got a couple minutes left here. Rachel Corpus, you are absolutely amazing. You astound me, really, and I really love how you have learned how to be a human who is an angel and is helping other people. My understanding is you do workshops and you work with one-on-one with individuals.
Yeah, this is all I do. This is my full-time work. So yeah, people can find me on my website, rachelcorpus.com. And I teach classes sometimes. And I have some books coming out next year, so watch for those coming out. And
oh, do you? Okay, excellent. I think I just saw I believe you're in the Iowa area, and you're holding a live workshop soon in Des Moines?
Yeah, in Des Moines on December 13th. And I do a lot of workshops on Zoom as well. So just check my website. I always have something going on.
And what is your website?
RachelCorpus.com.
And of course, I will put that in the show notes. And I'm looking forward to seeing your books. You said multiple books, more than one?
Yeah, I have a book that kind of outlines my life. It's coming out next year. I'm writing that with a co-author. And then I have a book coming out that's kind of like a spiritual dictionary. It's fun, but it's a lexicon of spiritual terms that we hope people can have with them. It's either going to be just in paper form, or we might create an app to go with it where you can just look up something that you hear in passing. Like, what is that all about? Have a resource with you, and that'll be in 3 volumes. And the first volume gets to come out next year. Yeah. And I have an oracle card deck that'll be coming out pretty soon as well. So lots of good things on the front burner.
That dictionary of spiritual lexicon, I think that will be a hit, because I just recently had Teresa Chung on, who is
I love her.
A dream person, and her book, the Dream Dictionary A to Z, is a classic hit, and I'm sure we'll do something with that too. Well, Rachel, thank you. I appreciate you. You are amazing, and thank you for bringing your light and your love and your friends' light and love with you to World Awakenings.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me. Thanks, everyone.
This has been another episode of World Awakenings, the fast track to enlightenment with host Karl Gruber, a certified law of attraction life coach. We welcome you to tune in to each and every episode of World Awakenings as we open your mind, your heart, and your eyes to the fact that the world's population is now, more than ever, awakening to the truth of all things spiritual, metaphysical, and enlightening, and just how much they play an all-important role in our moment-to-moment daily life. Much love and light to you, my friend, and thank you for tuning into World Awakenings.